It is coming close to Halloween.
Sure is. Spooky season is here.
I can't believe like October is like almost done. We got to deal with an election and then Thanksgiving and Christmas. It's just crazy. It's
Right.
happening so fast.
I'm
Uh,
looking forward to Thanksgiving, not the election.
I'm kind of looking forward to getting the election over with.
Well, yeah.
Just getting that done. Like,
Right.
I'm done with it. But then
No more
Thanksgiving.
texts.
Yeah, I haven't even thought about Thanksgiving yet. I haven't thought
Right.
about it. But
Right.
Thanksgiving is kind of a whole. It's fine. But today we're going to talk about 5 spooky movies or 5 scary movies.
Yeah.
For me, this does not represent the scariest movies ever, but these represent the 5 movies that frightened me and made me and disturbed me.
Oh yeah. Okay. I titled it 5 spooky movies because I know that both of you and I are not super big horror fans.
I don't know why any woman watch these movies. Like, I don't understand. Like, okay, I got 2 hours. I'm going to just hang out with my wife
Right.
and scare the living bejesus out of me. Like, I don't understand. It's like the Saw movies. Like, I don't understand.
Oh yeah. No.
But I don't get it.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't.
I don't get it. I just don't. I mean, some people don't get playing video games, I guess, but I just don't
Right.
get.
It's like
scared.
when you get into like torture porn, it's
Yeah.
like where I'm totally out. Like I have negative interest in that stuff,
Maybe I don't know.
and
Maybe
I totally don't get it. I do not get why you would want to watch that.
maybe when you're younger and you're curious about this kind of stuff, if you never really dealt with those emotional roller coasters of seeing that stuff, then you're like, okay, I'm interested in this. And I think
Right.
that's kind of when I watched these movies when I was younger. But I think when you get older, you just aren't interested in that anymore, and you're just a little mature. But there's been some really big heart. Like, what was that movie? The It was Hereditary that came out a little while ago. That's not on my list, but there's been some really really spooky, scary movies out.
Well, there's also that one with James McAvoy that's like a remake of some European movie that was pretty big too. I don't remember what it's called, but whatever. Yeah. I don't know. People like it.
Because even after you watch it, you sort of like you kind of walk out the theater or you sit at your home in like little daze and you can't
dude.
sleep. You know, like
If I watch a scary movie, like I have to like in the theaters and it's nighttime, I have to come home and watch a funny movie to like change my mood before I can go to sleep.
even movies that aren't a horror movie, sort of like what was that one that just came out? I just saw. I just totally went blank. The one, oh Nope, that I just saw recently years ago. Like was it a year ago? Like this is on my list, but Nope bothered me because I don't like. I have a real fear of being eaten. Like I don't like that's a real fear.
Okay.
You laugh, but it's a serious fear. Like anytime I see a movie where someone eats a person, I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm okay.
I was trying to remember the scary parts of Nope. It was mostly just boring to me.
Well, then the people will start getting eaten. And I'm like,
Yeah, that does happen by parachute aliens.
Yeah, I'm not into that. Not interested in it.
Right.
Anyway.
Well, what is your 5th spooky movie?
Poltergeist, 1982.
Poltergeist. Okay, classic.
That movie scared the boosh out of me. Like, and here's the reason why it took. And another movie on this list does the same thing. It takes something mundane that we enjoy, a television, and makes it scary. So all of a sudden, the thing in your house that you spend most of your time staring at becomes the thing that's like terrifying to you.
That's like all of those doll movies too.
Yeah.
Doll movies really freak me out.
Yeah, take something that's mundane and simple and then make it super scary. Also, like doors. That was a door into another universe. But here's the deal.
I don't know that I've ever actually fully seen Poltergeist.
Poltergeist, the whole idea was
I've seen bits and pieces on TV.
But his house was built on a Native American, like it was a Native American burial ground.
Right. Okay.
But the ghosts weren't really Native American. And they're like, there was nothing about the Native American culture or the people that the Poltergeist were from. It was just kind of like, we're Poltergeist. And like, it's actually offensive to Native Americans in a weird way. It's like, this was built on a Native American burial ground.
But no representation whatsoever.
But however, this ghost is pretty vanilla.
Right. His name is Gerald Cummingsworth.
That's really funny.
The third.
That's really funny. It was a spooky movie. It was kind of scary, but it's fun. What about yours? What's your number 5?
I don't know that any of mine are classics like yours are. My fifth is Final Destination.
Oh God.
The 2000 movie. There's apparently a bunch of Final Destinations. There's one that's, I think, also just titled Final Destination, or maybe it's got D in front of it or something, which was pretty bad. My son watched it recently. But the original Final Destination is just so good because you're like, this is just the anticipation and how crazy all of the deaths are.
Yeah, I heard about it. I didn't watch it.
Oh, really? Okay.
I never watched it, but I heard about it. That guy from Candyman, the black dude from Candyman's in it, which I thought was interesting.
Okay.
He's really spooky.
Allie Larder is in it. I noticed when looking up movies, she's in a lot of stuff. Like, whatever happened to her?
She's still around doing stuff.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, like she did a whole bunch of what was that? It's a video game movie.
Resident Evil?
Yeah, she did a ton of Resident
She was in Resident Evil movies?
Yeah, she did a ton of them. Yeah. And they were popular overseas.
Allie Larder?
Dude, yeah, she did a ton of
them. God, what is her name?
She also did a movie with Idris Elba where like and Beyonce was in it too. Yeah, like she was like a seductress. It was fun.
Okay.
But I'm not sure what we're talking about Ali Larder. But yeah, the Final Destination is a fine movie. It's okay.
Devon Sawa stars in Final Destination.
Yeah. It's not really that scary. Is it scary? Like, does it make you like scared?
Well, these are spooky movies for me.
Spooky, not scared. Like you're not questioning like the world based off this movie, are you?
No.
Yeah.
Because it's like all of the deaths are like extreme coincidences.
Well, I mean, the thing is, there's nothing.
Because all of these people are destined to die, and death is just like waiting for a chance to kill them.
We're all destined to die,
right?
So, like,
but these people are extra destined. Like they were supposed to die a week ago.
Yeah,
death pushed them up to the top of this list.
Yeah. But I can see that. That's scary. But like the scary thing about that is that we're all going to die. You know, like and like it's just kind of highlighting the randomness of life. Like at any moment, a tree's going to fall on your head or something like that. You will in the shower, and that's scary, especially if you're young. It's like, I'm going to die. Like, yeah, you are, kid. You're going to die. You might as well start getting used to that now.
Almost in my fifth position was like Idle Hands, which also has Devon Sawa, and The Faculty, I think, which also has Devon Sawa in it.
I have no idea what those movies are.
Allie Larder is also in at least one of those movies.
I do not watch movies. I'm thinking about buying an Ultra HD player. What do you think about that?
Why would you do that?
To play Ultra HDs for 4K Ultra.
You're gonna start buying discs?
I have a few, yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, my number 4 is 7, 1995, classic.
Oh, with Brad
Pitt and Morgan Freeman and Kevin Spacey. Come on,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
It's
What's in the box?
What's in the box? What's in the box? He told you. You know what? Like, it's funny. I always say that if I get a package from Amazon and my wife's like, "What's in the box?" Like, "What's in the box? What's in the box?" Gwyn Paltrow's head. Gwyn Paltrow's cut off head. I watched that movie with a bunch of friends, and we did not. It was something about that movie where we had an argument. I forget what it was, but my argument was this guy was just a maniac. There's nothing like religious tied to it. He's just crazy. And my friends were like, "No, he's trying to tell us about our sins and not to sin." I'm like, he's not. No, he's not. He's just nuts. Like
it was like, referencing though
the seven deadly sins aren't in the. They're not in the Bible. They're not. I don't want to say made up because I don't want to offend Catholics, but they're made up. And like so, like I mean, you could go to the Bible and look for roots of the 7 deadly sins, but there's no like God just never says don't do these 7 things.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you take the 10 Commandments, you can kind of infer a little bit, but not much. Like,
sort of. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to the 10 Commandments, really.
No, most of them is like, hey, don't.
Most of them is like, I'm God. Don't deal with other gods.
Yeah, don't say my name in vain. You know, take the Sabbath because it's holy. Like that. That's 3 of them. You know,
so it's like a half of it's God oriented.
Imagine if God said, do not contaminate your natural world. Make sure you keep the natural world pristine. Imagine if he would have said that. Like, we might actually have a decent environment in our society.
Didn't like Jesus, wasn't he on that point a little bit?
No,
I
not
don't
really.
know.
In the Bible, it does say to take care of the earth because God gave it to you, but nobody really.
Right, yeah. So, yeah, it's selective.
Anyway, the Seven's really good. I like that movie a lot.
Seven's a good movie.
I thought it was very clever. I think it's moody, it's gritty. It makes New York look nasty. And also, I guess when it was in 1995, New York was still kind of this grimy place.
Right.
That was like mildly dangerous. Now it's like a tourist attraction. And like, so I guess it's like it reinforced this whole like, New York will eat you. It's a terrible city. I hate this place. So it was raining half the time and it was terrible. But like, that's not really, I guess that's the New York some like hippies want, like not hippies, but like some like young people wish New York was like that, where you could buy crack on the street at 4 a.m. But like now it's just a great place to live. New York's a great city. I mean, it has its issues like any city has, but still.
Right.
Anyway,
bringing up number 4 for me, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Hey, that's awesome. Yeah, Keanu Reeves is in that, and a lot of other
Keanu
people.
Reeves, yep.
Who else is there?
Winona Ryder?
Yeah, I think so.
Winona Ryder, yeah.
I've never seen that movie. We should watch it.
You've never seen that movie? Yeah, you should definitely watch it.
Halloween.
Absolutely, yeah.
I was going to make her watch Blade, but nah, we'll watch that instead.
She'll like that better.
Yeah. Never mind. I was going to go sidetrack, but go ahead.
Francis Ford Coppola directed it. It's from 1992.
Wasn't Luke Cage in it?
Who?
Not Luke Cage. What's his name? Nicolas Cage.
No, not that I know of.
Is he?
He's played Dracula in another movie.
Yeah, he's related to Coppola, right?
Right. Yeah, okay. That's why he changed his name. He didn't want to everybody to just think of him as a Coppola.
Yeah, I'm sure that's exactly why he was able to get all the movies that he got, because he wasn't.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
I mean, I guess it helps his ego knowing that he changed his last name, but it definitely helped him out.
I read Dracula, the book, and it's very interesting how much the modern day Dracula, the modern day vampire, is not represented in the book. I mean, I don't even think the sunlight was a thing. I don't think it was like. I think it was like he didn't like sunlight, but it wasn't like sunlight affected him like that.
I'm trying to remember from the movie.
But the movie and the books could be a little bit different. But I know for a fact the book actually deals with a lot of sexual themes and stuff like that.
There's definitely some nudity in this movie.
Well, I mean, if you look at like Dracula, Frankenstein, Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, they were making commentary about the human condition in a very interesting way. So it's like I need to read that again. Actually, I haven't read in years.
Yeah.
My number 3.
I do know that sparkle vampires weren't in the book.
So stupid. What a stupid idea. What stupid idea. I can't be in the sun because if I was in the sun, I sparkle. Like whatever. Like,
right.
Get out of here. Get out of here. I want to introduce you. Like, if my creative writing student said that, I'd be like, get out of here. I don't want to read this. Sparkle vampires. I don't want to read this. It ruined vampires. That the whole thing ruined vampires. Like now, like okay.
Yeah, they weren't scary.
I made my wife watch the Interview with the Vampire, and she was aghast that movie existed. She was like, "What is this?"
What's wrong with that movie? That's a good movie.
It was a good movie, but she didn't know that Tom Cruise was in it, Brad Pitt was in it. You know, she was like, what is this? Okay. She never knew it existed. And then she watched this, was like, what are they doing? It was actually really fun to watch it. My number 3 is Blair Witch Project.
I thought about putting that on my list.
That movie didn't scare me until the last 3 minutes. The last 3 minutes is absolutely terrifying.
Okay.
You watched it.
Yeah, but I don't remember the last 3 minutes.
I don't want to yell it too loud because I told my wife we might watch it. But, I mean, the last 3... Okay, so the whole movie is, hey... We're going.
It's a spooky movie, even if it's not scary. It's definitely spooky.
It's spooky for a couple different reasons. One, it's bringing in the woods.
Yeah, lots of people can't handle the woods.
Yeah, because it's like dark and you don't know what's in it. 2, it was the first one of those movies that did that whole like camera thing.
Yeah, the handheld camera.
So it was like, hey,
right?
this is a documentary. This is not a movie.
Some people actually thought it was a documentary.
Yeah.
Or found footage.
When it first came out, I remember this. When it first came out, people thought it was a documentary, and people got freaked out. So the movie companies had to say, no, this is just a fictional film. We made it look like a documentary because people really did think it was a documentary.
And they're like, why isn't anybody looking for these people?
Yeah, exactly. But then it was, but the whole it took off. That whole documentary style took off after that.
Right? Yeah. Doc style definitely took off.
Yeah, and so it was the first time we saw that, and we saw some of the limitations of it, but also it was really intriguing. And there's that one part.
Yeah, it did have a pretty cool aesthetic. I liked all the wood. They like made rune shapes or something with the wood. Mm-hmm. Branches, and it's a cool movie.
Yeah, and just like they were lost, they couldn't figure out where they were going, and then at night the last part was super terrifying. It's worth if you haven't seen Blair Witch Project, it's definitely worth a watch. It's tame compared to movies now. Yeah, but then in 1999, that movie pushed a lot of boundaries. So it's really interesting. Okay, what was your number 3?
My number 3, Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
What is that? Why do you watch this weird stuff? What is that?
It's a funny, spooky movie. It's got so Tucker is, I think, what's his name? Do you remember the Firefly TV show?
Yeah.
The pilot, what's his name?
Alan
Tudyk.
Yeah.
So he's either Tucker or Dale. I can't remember which he is. And then this chubby dude that's kind of funny, and in a lot of movies is the other guy. And they're like out. They like bought this cabin, and so it's like their dream to have a cabin together. So they're out there trying to fix it up and stuff. And they're country boys. And meanwhile, like these college kids from like some city are driving out here to like vacation, and so they're like right near the cabin, and the college kids think that Tucker and Dale are trying to kill them, but Tucker and Dale just like saved one of their friends that like got knocked unconscious and was going to drown, and then kind of in a Final Destination way, like all of the college kids get murdered while trying to attack Tucker and Dale. Like one guy runs after one and tries to tackle him, but jumps into a wood chipper instead. So it's kind of gory, kind of funny.
Sounds kind of fun,
kind of spooky. It's a fun movie. Yeah,
I need to watch that. I have a side note. Guess who wrote Poltergeist?
Jeez,
you would never guess.
I'll never guess. Yeah,
Steven Spielberg.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I wonder how many movies he's written.
Probably a lot. Now that I think about it, you know what?
You don't think of him as a writer at all.
But this feels like a Poltergeist. If you really look at the movie's construction, the story of it, it feels like a Steven Spielberg movie. It feels that well crafted. He's a great storyteller.
Right.
Anyway.
Number
2. The Exorcist, 1973.
Okay. Now another classic you put on your list.
The scariest movie I have ever seen.
I think my number 2 is also a classic, but it's a modern classic.
I can't watch it now. Like if someone said, "Hey, you want to watch The Exorcist?" I'm like, "Nope, I'm good."
There's another movie I don't think I've ever actually seen end to end. I've seen pieces of it on TV.
You know the whole story. You know the story they don't want. That movie was edited in different ways.
This has the guy in it. What's the guy's name?
I forget. But that movie's about a young girl who's sexually abused. You know that, right?
I did not know that.
The young girl's sexually abused. And the idea is because of the sexual abuse, it opened her soul up to possession.
Demons.
Because when the demon was talking to her parents, she's like, fuck me. Do you know what your daughter do you know what your daughter has done? Do you know what your daughter is doing? So it was like, the demon was like, hey, this girl's part of so she's abused. And then she gets possessed. Then, and if you think about the history, I'm not saying anything people don't know. The Catholic Church and the issues of abuse and stuff like that.
They got a lot.
It's a lot going on in this movie, dude. And when the priest, the demon is talking to the priest, and she's like in the mom's voice, she's like, I'm your mother, and like, oh god, dude, that is a rough.
Now, this is the one where the girl's head spins around 360
yes.
degrees,
and
right?
She crab
and
walks
throws
up the stairs. She does a spider walk up the stairs, where she's like, walk. Oh, that movie's rough, dude. That movie's rough. It's rough because it feels kind of like real or true.
Is Michael Caine in this?
I don't know.
Michael Caine.
Maybe. You know, I live in DC, and so the Exorcist stairs, we've actually climbed those, and they're high. Those are big stairs. Like that's they're not easy to climb. Like you get winded halfway through.
Where are they at?
They're in Georgetown.
Okay.
Like people go see them all the time. Anyway, what's your number 2?
Number 2, Shaun of the Dead.
You know what? I'm going to try to get my wife to watch that with me because that movie's great.
That movie is great. That movie's great.
That movie's a fantastic movie, and it's your favorite director, right? What's his name?
Right. It's one of my favorite directors. Yeah, Edgar Wright.
Yeah, dude, that movie's so much fun. Because it starts, like, my favorite part of the movie is, like, the first part where he goes about his day and he walks down. And then, like, the next day he does it, but the zombies attack. He doesn't even
He doesn't notice at all. Yeah. Slips on blood in the convenience store. Doesn't realize it.
And the most inept people ever. It's like, we have to survive this zombie attack, but, like, we barely can do it. Like, it's so funny.
Right.
No, that movie's great. And
their big plan is to hang out, to go hide in the bar that they hang out at.
Dude, that movie's great. It's hard to get my wife to watch movies because she doesn't like my movies. But I really am going to try to get her to watch Shaun of the Dead. It's actually a fun movie to watch.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know if it's
modern classic, movie. I think.
I mean,
it's spooky.
The one part where the zombies rip apart that guy, that's really gross.
This is the movie that my children say that I let them watch when they were really young, and I swear to them and myself that I did not let them watch it as long as they say that I did. Because I just wanted to show them like the funny like Michael Jackson Thriller dance at the beginning of the movie. Mm-hmm. And apparently I let it run until the girl gets the girl zombie falls on a pipe and you can see a hole in her chest. But that was by accident, and they say that I let them watch it much longer than that. I don't think I did.
They're fine. Your kids are fine.
But they always throw that in my face. So.
It's fine. You love your children. Nobody doubts that.
Yeah.
All right, number 1, The Ring, 2002.
Oh, okay. Never seen it.
What?
It showed up in my research, but I've never seen it.
Dude, you gotta watch this movie. So.
It's spooky though. It's scary.
It is scary,
right?
So the story is this young girl. She was born with gifts. She was born with gifts, but she couldn't control them. So she constantly would send these dark, evil thoughts to her parents' brains. And so the parents didn't know what to do, and so they took the young girl and threw her into a well and covered it up. And the young girl was in the well for 7 days. And
world's worst parents.
So then, of course, the girl becomes a ghost, and then she haunts her parents, causing them to commit suicide. And then the girl's like, that's not enough. So the girl begins to affect the rest of the world, and somehow a videotape is created. I'm not sure how, where it's a bunch of images from the girl. And if you watch the videotape, you have 7 days until you die. But if you show the videotape to someone else, you won't be killed. So the idea is that she wants people to know what happened to her, and it's a Japanese movie. I saw the original Japanese movie. And the original Japanese is just as, if not more, freaky than the remake. But the remake's almost a perfect film, and just the idea that they once again take our televisions and say, you're going to be scared of this. I went home afterwards and I had a TV in my room. I had to unplug the TV and put it in my closet. I was like, I can't. And like, it's so irrational. It's so stupid.
Right.
Like, I was totally, completely afraid of that thing. And that movie affected me for days after. Like, I just was like, what's wrong with you? I saw The Ring. Like, oh, are you okay? I was like, I don't know. Like, and now I kind of feel like it's silly But at the time,
that movie did have a huge impact on like culture at the time. I know like Saturday Night Live had skits about it and stuff.
Yeah, it was a really hard. It's the movie. Here's the deal that made the movie interesting to me. It was the way that they finally told us. Like the whole thing about the girl came very slowly until you finally realize what they did, and you're like, oh, okay. And it's almost like she's justified. She's like, I am justified doing what I'm doing because of what happened to me. And they did a sequel. They did The Ring 2, which wasn't nearly as good, of course, but it did kind of finish some stuff. But they just try to make some money off of the first Ring, so it's fine. But if you are going to watch The Ring, don't watch the sequels. It's like there's 3 sequels. I would say watch the 2002 version and then watch the original Japanese version, and you'll see some interesting differences.
Cool. Yeah.
What's number 1?
Scream.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Good. That's a good one. You know, I'm a big
The
fan
original 1996.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those
Directed
movies.
by Wes Craven.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of those movies. I like all the Scream movies. I saw all of them. And I didn't see them. I saw them, but I wasn't scared. I just thought they were great movies.
I haven't seen like the last half. Yeah, dude, I like scary movies that aren't gonna affect me.
Yeah. I saw Scream 1, 2, and 3. And the reason why Scream works is like Wes Craven's the best horror movie director ever. He did A Nightmare on Elm Street, which I've never seen any of those. I refuse to watch them. But when you
I saw those when I was like a teenager. Yeah.
But when you watch Scream, you realize that he's just a skillful director. He's good. Like those movies are well done. Like you,
right.
They scare you in a very specific way. And I thought those movies are great.
You know what the original title for Scream was going to be?
What?
Scary Movie.
And then they made.
And then afterwards, what is it? The Wayans brothers made Scary Movie. Yeah,
that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, the Scream movies are actually pretty good. That's really good.
Yeah, they're good. Also a modern classic, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
You have 2 classics, and I've got 2 modern classics.
If you take all the movies on my list and like most of the movies on your list, I think you have a pretty comprehensive fun movies to watch.
I think you've got both of our lists. I think you've got really solid. Like if you're really trying to get into the Halloween mood, watch all 10 of these movies.
I just don't like.
None of our movies are the same. That's interesting. Yeah,
and I don't like the modern day stuff now where it's like too scary. You know, like like what are we doing? Like the torture stuff.
The Witch. I kind of want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it.
What's that?
I don't really know, but it looks cool, but it looks scary. So
I'm not watching it.
And then there's like Midsummer with Florence Pugh. I haven't seen that, but I want to watch it, but I don't want to watch it.
I'm more like here's the deal. First, I don't watch movies very well now. I don't. If I have some downtime, I'll play some video games. If I have some downtime, I'll try to read or something like that. But I do recognize that my wife and I need to have a movie night once a week, just to have it.
Yeah, definitely. We have a movie night once a week.
Yeah, so I'm going to work on that, try to figure out where that's going to fit in our schedule. Maybe Thursday nights could work, and then like we can start like getting into some of these. Cause I think it's pretty fun.
Yeah.
All right, hey, that's 5 the podcast. 5 spooky movies. Mike, how can people share this? Because this is a new podcast.
It's a new podcast. We need your help.
We need your help. These are half-hour podcasts. They're very focused on 5 things. We're trying to get out there. We're trying to make some of that podcast money. And there's not many podcasts out there. You know, there's like 4 or 5 podcasts out there. Like we're one of them.
That's right. Like, there's not a whole lot to listen to. We're one of your few choices. But still, we need your help getting the word out. So share it, review it, rate it, do all of those things.
Yes.
It'll really help out. It won't take you much time.
No. If you want a nice little podcast to listen to you guys talk about something that's kind of mundane and not very important,
right.
This is it.
We're gonna do 50 of these, and if it's not working by then, we're gonna do something else.
If it's not working by then I'm just going to go to prostitution.
Start up your OnlyFans.
Cause yeah. I should do that. I should start OnlyFans.
Yeah, why not? Yeah.
Oh, but it's only my toes. Not even
Exactly.
my
That's what I was going to say.
just my toes. But my toes, it has a fungal infection now I refuse to get rid of. Just like
I watched the first episode of The Penguin last night. Have you seen that at all?
I heard it was good.
It's good. He walks kind of like a penguin. I don't know if that's from the comics or not, but at one point he takes off his shoes and socks, and one of his feet is messed up, man. His toes are jacked.
Looks like my foot.
It looks disgusting.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.